Hey, Gabriel here with the Icon Capture GPS Intelligence Brief for July 8th, 2026. All right, grant and research portfolio managers, we need to talk because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Before we start, this is the last brief before this terrain window narrows. The GPS Portfolio Realignment Review cohort closes after this brief. 6,113 fresh solicitations. Pursuit Portfolio Realignment. That signal is what opened this session, and it will not repeat the same way tomorrow. Code GPS 569 at the-icon.ai capture. Now, let's read the board. So let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced 6,113 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov. 1886 legislative signals, 0 federal hiring signals across 0 agencies. And all of that is happening while market BCL is 0%, with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. In the last 168 hours, the opportunity flow has surged to 6,113 postings. However, examining the top opportunities like the 68, high-assay, low-enriched uranium, HALU enrichment, and the FYD7 City Pair Program Award, one notices that the monetary figures remain undisclosed. This lack of specificity can suggest a shift in how agencies are presenting opportunities. The raw volume is high, but the accessibility of detailed information may lag. This is where the capture terminal becomes an invaluable ally, allowing us to sift through such data noise and extract meaningful insights that might be buried beneath the surface. Interestingly, the legislative activity is bustling with 1,886 signals, yet there is a stark absence of executive movement, DFARS changes, and court opinions. This discrepancy might indicate a temporary bottleneck in translating legislative intentions into executable actions. Managers who read this tape know the implications of continuing resolution, CR drags. Without executive follow-through, the opportunities may stall at the legislative threshold, delaying funding flow. The board is quite vocal about this accessibility versus volume narrative. While there's an abundance of opportunities, the absence of executive and DFARS data suggests potential hurdles in procurement processes. For grant and research portfolio managers, this might mean recalibrating strategies to focus on legislative-driven niches that can overcome these accessibility challenges. The capture ticker, when checked, often reveals subtle trends and signals that can guide these strategic pivots. Secondary signals present a nuanced picture, with no terrain holes, hiring spread, court opinions, or lobbying clusters. The landscape appears unusually stable. This lack of activity could mask underlying market mispricing, where opportunities might be undervalued due to the absence of typical market influencers like lobbying or new court rulings. For portfolio managers, this stability can suggest a rather untapped market, ripe for those who can identify latent value. Terrain holes often indicate gaps in data that could lead to misinterpretation. Here, their absence might mean a cleaner read on the market, yet it simultaneously hints at a lack of disruptive innovation or policy shifts that typically create new opportunities. This stability can be a double-edged sword. While the market isn't roiled by uncertainty, it also isn't being driven forward by new forces. The absence of hiring activity and agency signals might seem like a non-event, but it can actually be informative. If agencies aren't ramping up their workforce, it might suggest a pause in scaling up operations or new initiatives, which in turn could impact the timeline for opportunity maturation. For those managing this grant book, recognizing these quiet periods can lead to smarter moves, investing in solid, existing opportunities rather than waiting for new market shifts. In this quiet market, smart portfolio moves might involve deeper dives into existing opportunities that others might overlook. While the surface seems calm, there's potential for significant gains in areas that are currently undervalued due to the absence of typical driving factors. The current funding climate is a dynamic landscape driven by legislative and executive shifts, reshaping demand conditions. Are you aligning your submission strategy with these policy changes? How are you mitigating risks associated with potential shifts in agency priorities? Are you leveraging data to predict and adapt to emerging funding opportunities? Staying agile and informed is crucial. Adapt your strategies to navigate this evolving environment effectively. Last thing before I sign off, and I want to be direct. The GPS Portfolio Realignment Review cohort closes after this brief. When this window closes, the terrain that justified it moves on. Tomorrow's signal will be different. The next session will read a different board. If the brief we just walked through gave you a reason to act, now is the time. Code GPS 569. communities.theicon.ai/capture the-govcon-elite. 14.0 million records, 4 verticals ready. Provenance traced from build to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon, or commercial portfolio. I drop a new GPS brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free, and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow. Just a quick note, you will be disconnected in 5